What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, going to be casting round 3 of Balt Cup 2. This draft is going way too quickly. Let's go over who's playing what, who picked what. We have Tellem once again, survived all the way up to this point, going to pick up the Darkseer as well as the OD. So already hard lane and mid lane pretty much 100% solidified. They're just going to be looking for 3 heroes, jungling or pure supports, to go onto their other lanes. They're going to be going up against, I like to keep my stream PG. That's why I never ever curse ever when I stream. But they're going to be going up against SFB, which is what I'm going to be calling them, probably, because that's what it says up here. And their icon looks very happy, which is great. So yeah, they're going to be opening up with, no surprise, Naga Siren. I wonder how intentional that is. I feel like you should have just banned Naga Siren out, because Naga Siren's a great ban, and if the enemy team has Naga Siren in their name, I feel like they should have some sort of plan going in. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But they're going to open up with that Siren as well as the Razor, so Tellem probably going to be dissuaded very, very heavily from running a hero such as the Lifestealer, which is pretty much Naga Siren. The reason why Naga Siren, or one of the reasons why Naga Siren is so powerful nowadays, or rather so desirable, is because that ensnare does cut through that rage. And then, of course, if he does rage, you could ensnare him, turn on your sleep, and then everyone else is sleeping, but the Lifestealer is the only one available to hit. Then it's just a 5v1, and then it's pretty easy because he can't move because of ensnare. So Naga Siren would dissuade them very heavily from picking that hero up, but that doesn't mean that the Tellem side do not have a whole slew of carry options available to them. Razor, very, very similar to that Naga Siren in that his static link will go through pretty much anything, which is a pretty cool way to lock down magic immune targets. Just get everything that goes through stun. Not only do they go through stuns, but they aren't ultimates, which is the most important thing. Like, you get Beastmaster for his roar or whatever. You get Overgrowth from Treant, RP. But those all have long cooldowns associated with them. Razor, Naga Siren, not the same. Tellem going to ban out the Rubik as well as the Mirana. So not really any huge direction that they're targeting right now. They're going to pick the Gyrocopter, a hero that, although will get shut down very, very heavily by the static link. If he gets ensnared, it probably won't be too much of a big deal, especially if it's in the thick of a large fight. He'll just turn on everything that he has, just mash his face in the keyboard. Hopefully the cooldown's going to hit a couple people, and then just go to town with the flat cannon. So that's a good way of kind of nullifying the Siren's potential, although Razor, once you get a static link on the Gyrocopter, not only are you stealing damage that he's going to be outputting to one hero, you're going to be stealing damage that he's going to be outputting to all the heroes, which is a pretty interesting mechanic in that way that works. He's going to be hitting for nothing to everyone with his flat cannon. And because that Naga Siren as well as Razor dissuaded Tellem from picking up the Lifestealer, SFB themselves are going to pick up that hero. So they have their carry set up. Razor probably going to go towards the mid lane against OD. Lifestealer are going to go head probably towards the safe lane, although Lifestealer, Naga Siren, there are 2 melee heroes, so offensive tri-lane wise, it's not exactly the best, especially against the Bane as well as Gyrocopter, 2 ranged heroes. But either way, we'll get the Lifestealer a good amount of farm. Soldier Boy, Tellem going to look for one more support hero to partner up with that Bane as well as Gyrocopter. Mirana would actually be pretty good for them as a support hero, but really, the support cast is wide open. The combo is already there. It's just Nightmare into Gyrocopter walking up the flat cannon, whoever's unfortunate enough to get hit by that spell. But SFB have yet to choose a hero for their hard lane, unless they do, of course, want to run an offensive tri-lane, which so far it doesn't seem like it's shaping up to be like one. Especially with that Bane pickup, a very hard hero to deal with in that offensive tri-lane. It might be something like Keeper of the Light, just arm up a huge cannon blast. I don't know. Of course, they do have their options pretty much wide open. They could go for whatever they want. They're taking their time with it as well. They still do need a hard off lane of their own. They could go for something like a Bounty Hunter or a Clockwork. However, those 2 heroes both will struggle quite a bit versus the Gyrocopter Bane. Nature's Prophet still in the pool if they want to do a little bit of pulling. Lone Druid also an option. Although Lone Druid I think would be a little bit too greedy on SFB's part. There'll be a huge amount of late game, but their early mid game will definitely suffer. They need someone who could influence the early mid game in a big way. Because as of right now, they don't really have that much magical damage. And SFB, they're kind of light on magical damage as well. They're just mostly all about the lane control and kind of stalling, both teams really. So I think this game, unless the teams play super aggressively, is looking to be like it's going to reach the late game. That's what it seems to me. Just the heroes that are being picked up. Rather passive in the early mid game. Nature's Prophet is going to be banned out, and SFB going to pick up that Jakiro. So that's going to be a pretty solid combo. Lifestealer, Naga Siren, Jakiro. It's a lot of downtime, or a lot of stun time, where whoever gets caught by that is going to be pretty much at the mercy of those three heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
Doesn't signify to me that there's going to be an offensive tri lane though, so it's probably going to be those three heroes going down towards the bot lane and dealing with the darks here. SFB do still need the off lane of their own, and it's definitely not going to be Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet would have been a pretty good pick. Still would have been a tad greedy, but not impossible to really secure enough farm for the entire team. Would have been very possible. Nick Assassin going to be the final ban out. Soldier Boy deciding what they want to have as their last pickup. And it's going to be a Chen. So there you go. They do know that they have enough power within their Bane Gyrocopter combination as it stands. Don't need any more power in the lane. Might as well go for very bursty power in the fact that Chen, who could dip in and out of the jungle, get a lot of farm going regardless of whether or not he is needed in those lanes. Then he will be successful in that regard.
10 seconds.
So we'll open the door for a little bit of early game pushing as well. And yeah, this is going to be a clockwork for SFB. So the clockwork going to go onto that off lane. We'll have to deal with the Bane Gyrocopter dual lane. Good luck, clockwork. I mean, if he gets cogged in with the Gyrocopter, usually with the clockwork you're like, alright, I got cogged in with their carry, and I should have battery assault, so I'm going to do some work. But Gyrocopter is one of those heroes that if you're in with melee range of him, he's celebrating a little bit more than you are, because flat cannon hurts a lot. So that's probably the way these lanes are going to shape up. Mid lane, Razor versus OD. Both of them fairly effective at dealing with each other. Razor, I mean, it's definitely hard to shut down an OD, but Razor is definitely a hero that can do it. There's pretty much no way to stop the static link. And here we go. We are in the game. Let's see what these 17 announcers are. Get some GLaDOS. You are an awful human being. Okay, on the Tellem side, all the way from round 1, we have TK playing that OD. Phonix rather, is going to be playing the Gyrocopter. Winter is coming on the Darks here. Envy is going to be playing that Chen, and last but not least, that leaves Bert on the Bane, heading up towards the top lane. On the SFB side, we have Pickles playing the Jakiro. Ryan is going to be on the Lifestealer, and Caillou is going to be is on the Naga Siren. All three of them heading down towards the bot lane. On the mid side, we have Mihai on the Razor, and on the top side, we have 470 playing that Clockwork. Okay, well, I am just finished. Alright, so I am semi-distracted, but now I am not. No more distractions. Here we go. Lanes are set up in such a way that I have predicted them pretty much spot on, so there's really not going to be too much action, I believe, outside of the middle lane, but even these two heroes, it's going to take a pretty gross misplay for either one of them to die, because the intelligence harassment on Razor is going to be annoying, but Razor is definitely functional with low levels of intelligence. He does have a very, very cheap spell in Static Link. 20 mana, I think he could be able to afford that. His intelligence growth isn't the highest, so he's going to still get hit hard by the OD, but the OD is going to have his damage stolen right back. So it will be pretty much a wash in the mid lane, but we will pay the most attention there. Winter is coming on the bottom lane. Will struggle a great deal against this tri-lane. However, he does always have the option of abandoning ship and going into the jungle. 470, kind of the same way. Against Phonix and Bert, he's going to struggle very, very heavily. He will try to, as best as he can, to delay the creeps, and he will be semi-successful in doing so. But in the end, it won't really matter all too much. Hell, yeah, Bane could even leave the lane if he wants to. He's just going to go ward for now, but Phonix should not have any trouble at all versus this Clockwork, especially with a double damage rune up. So yeah, it's going to be a really sad competition to see who could scrap some golden experience together on the hard lanes of each side. And in the meantime, it's going to be a 1v1 in the middle lane. We see the Razor doing exactly what Razor does versus TK, and well, even if TK uses the Astral Imprisonment on the Razor, that static link, I believe, still will fly, so it will be very difficult for the OD to make substantial gains with his base damage over the Razor. So the Razor shouldn't be able to kill the OD, but will be able to take the lead, or should be able to take the lead rather, as far as CS is concerned. Although he's having a little bit of trouble right now under the tower, I'm sure he will recover eventually. 0 experience in the Darkseer, whereas the Clockwork just hitting level 2. The zoning of 2 heroes with the Naga Siren as well as Jakiro being a lot more effective against the Darkseer than just the Bane is against the Clockwork. But now Clockwork, smelling something coming, instantly going to use the cogs, luckily pushing the Bane back and taking out the mana perfectly so that he cannot use a Nightmare. Nightmare into Flat Cannon, I don't know if that would have been a kill. It would have been close. But either way, the Clockwork is going to survive that attempted gank from Tellem. Winter is coming, just going to try to mess with the creeps as much as possible. There is a pretty substantial stack. What is that? 1, 2, 3? 3 camps there? And Winter's coming, just jungling right under the nose of Caillou. It's a level 1 Darkseer jungling in a hard camp. He's going to take some pretty heavy hits here. Going to put himself in a pretty vulnerable position, but I don't think that SFB smell this at all. You wouldn't really expect this. A Darkseer jungling in your hard camp and that's it. Something else to mention is that Envy is now a level 3 Chen. He'll be able to take a Centaur if he wants to, unless the Centaurs die, which is very probable. But Chen is free farming, so where Winter is coming is struggling to get any sort of levels up, but he's just now hitting level 2 mark. He will be able to kind of have that loss offset by the fact that there is a Chen on his side. Mihai doing pretty good job to keep this OD out. That damage swing really doing works for that Razor. Now 470 is in a huge amount of trouble. They do have one net, and there it is. Phoenix going to close the distance for the Rocket Barrage. 470 is going to get rockets up in his face. That's a first blood given to Phonix. First blood on the carry. What more could you ask for? I guess the answer to that is a tier 1 tower in addition to that. Clockwork will have a teleportation scroll back into the lane. But will that be enough to offset this? 2 clarities were cancelled by that rocket, so pretty good by 470, but he won't be able to do much about this lane. He failed to pull the aggro. Rocket hitting a little bit from a little bit too far away, and here comes another wave. The Troll does have mana for another Raise Dead. And Phonix, though, taking a lot of damage. He's going to lose the aggro, and this tower should drop. Unless there's teleportation support coming in, 470 with another missile is going to cancel yet another restorative. Phonix taking some pretty big hits to his restorative pools, and the tower still getting chipped down, but it looks like it will survive at least for now. The damage from these heroes is not the greatest, and 470 now guaranteed himself some experience. Meanwhile, Darkseer still on this bottom lane, hasn't yet realized that Pickles as well as Caillou have left the lane, so he's a little bit hesitant to get too close to the lane. That just means that Ryan is, totally bluffing right now. He's acting as if he has 2 support heroes, but that's not the case. He's level 5, he's farming up a Storm. He could go for a very, very quick hand in Midas, or he could just go for an Armlet and just start beating people down early. Let's see what he gets. It's going to be Boots, so it's going to be Phase Boots early. No, it's going to be Phase Boots early. So he's not going to go for a Midas. He can instead just use this to just completely bully out Winter's coming out of the lane. He can even get this kill right now. The slow is going to stick just a little bit more, and the Rage? Okay, I guess it's just harassment. Rage wouldn't have gotten the kill, but 75 mana to drop him down a lot lower, especially when he doesn't have any restoratives. That definitely would have been worth it. Anyway, Naga Siren as well as Jakiro roaming around just a little bit. They're going to get a couple stacks off. Pose a small threat to the mid lane, but TK really is no threat of this at all. So 75 wasted mana from the Naga Siren, not a big deal, as herself and the Jakiro move back towards the bottom lane. 470 in a little bit of trouble, but Phonix very, very low, so he's got to be very careful with this Clockwork. He's going to eat a Test of Faith straight to the face. Another missile going to fly out. Phonix dropping down very low, playing it very, very risky. But he will survive to make it out of there. Envy losing his Troll on the way out. Gyrocopter really doesn't have any great way of restoring his HP at the current time. He doesn't bring a Basilius, which is turned on, so his mana will slowly regenerate, but his health, he's all out of tangos. Now with Naga Siren and Jakiro here, this push is pretty much just ground to a stop. Winter's coming though. Wow, found something absolutely huge in the huge stack that the supports from the Radiant have been providing for themselves. This is going to be actually a huge pickup for Winter. It's going to get him up to level 5 at the very least, and give him a ton of gold. That's gold that he should not have been getting if, you know, if the game plan from SFB was going according to plan. That's level 5. That's 760 gold for him. That's going to be his soul ring if he wants to get it. That's going to be his boots if he wants to get it. Either one. In either way, it's all good. Razor's still holding strong into this lane. Only a 65 mana total. It's so hilarious seeing OD just steal all the mana away from everyone. It's great. Winter's coming. You don't want to do this. This is not what you want to do. There's a surge. Open wounds used a little bit too early, and now a level 2 surge will ensure he gets out of there safely. Unless Ryan wants to go deep, he's gonna go deep. Winter's coming in, take 2 more hits, 3 more hits. He's gonna go down. They're diving for that kill, but it doesn't matter because he got the kill. He's gonna take a little bit of damage on the way out, but 1 infest, and he is good to go. Or he can just sit back and use his feast. So Darkseer, I don't know exactly what the Darkseer was planning there. I guess he wanted to go into the shop, but once he saw the Lifestealer going there, that should have been his cue to get the hell out, because you cannot contest the Lifestealer when you're that low as a Darkseer. Hell, even if you have full HP, you would probably be better off just not contesting that Lifestealer at all, because you're not able to do much against him. So Lifestealer definitely getting the better end of this carry farm fest. Gyrocopter, you can see only level 6 versus the level 8 on the Lifestealer. That 1 kill doing wonders, but also the fact that he's not actively splitting all of his experience with another support hero. That is, of course, going to hurt the Jakiro and the Naga Siren, who are both level 2, whereas the Bane is a huge level 4 in comparison. So Pickles and Caillou, without that triple stack, they're really going to be hurting for levels in experience. For levels in gold, rather. They might want to try to make some of that up by taking a tower, but I don't know if they have enough pushing power. Well, definitely they do have enough pushing power if they land this. Ice Path, though, gonna miss. Dual Breath is still there. Level 2 Dual Breath. Winter's coming, taking an absolute beating from the Lifestealer. Infest Bomb is going to seal the deal there. So who needs creep kills when you can just kill off the enemy heroes? And Darkseer sticking around for a little bit too long, really underestimating the killing power of really just this Lifestealer. Level 4 Rage and Phase Boots. That is a ton of damage. And Pickles even missed his level 1 Ice Path. Not a huge deal, but still the damage was more than enough to bring down that Darkseer, even getting body blocked a little bit as he tried to make his way out. We have more rotation coming in. It is going to be the Razor with a double damage rune. This tier 2 tower might be in a little bit of trouble, and Tellem, they really don't have any good tools of counter push. The best tool that they have is the call down from Phonix, but he has a free lane. They want this Gyrocopter to get as much farm as possible. Any counter push from them is pretty much just going to be isolated in these small ion shelled creeps, which you can see how long that guy lasted. This tier 2 tower is going to drop. OD is going to come in. Does he have his ultimate? He doesn't even have his ultimate. Even if he comes in, he's not going to be able to contribute anything to this. He's just going to get isolated and killed with a net. Maybe not with a net because he doesn't have enough mana, but he's going to slip away just barely. Oh, TK in a huge amount of trouble. Is going to steal some intelligence, but he will get his wounds opened up. Ice Path is going to fly, hit both onto Envy as well as TK. This is going to be the death of the OD. Envy going to try to do what he can. Winter is coming in the middle of everything, but he's not going to be able to do anything with that Ion Shell. Here comes Phonix with the call down. Hit on 0 heroes. And that's going to be SFB taking an early 4-1 lead. In the meantime, Clockwork still on this top lane. Level 7 now compared to the level 5 of the Darkseer. SFB really taking control of this game from very, very early on. Taking not 1, but 2 of the bot lane towers. And now they could even rotate out. They're a little bit banged up, so they probably will go back to the Fountain or get Arcane Boots on the Naga Siren. Big item to pick up considering she's been doing pretty much nothing but roam the entire game. 2 towers, though, will get that money into your pocket. And wow, both Jakiro and Naga Siren with the mana. So Lifestealer is going to be pretty much all up to full mana now. Jeez, the mana's there. So it's going to allow for Winter's coming to get a little bit of experience down the bot lane, but Darkseer actually pushed that out way more than he should have. He needs a couple levels. Everyone on Tellem just needs more levels, but they're not getting it. SFB using the power that they got from the early game farm of the Lifestealer, really just bullying the crap out of the Darkseer and taking the towers. So I guess Darkseer is the kid and the towers is his lunch money. And, well, he's now has his head in the toilet because he's not going to be able to get any farm without consulting someone. And, oh, here comes the Razor with the haste rune. TK is going to get a lot of damage stolen out from him. That Astral is going to help a little bit. Bert going to come in for a little bit of support. But still, it's a lot of damage being stolen by the Razor. Plus 112 is no joke. And now this mid lane tower, not exactly long for life. Tellem can't really stand against this push from SFB. Their crowd clearing is pretty much non-existent. But really, you wouldn't expect to need a lot of AoE when dealing with a team like SFB, because they're pushing. They have 0 heroes that I would consider pushing heroes. Yes, I guess Liquid Fire is a great spell for pushing, but it's not why you picked Jakiro. Like, it's not close to the reason why you picked Jakiro. And even Tellem, they have the Chen, but top lane, it is still pretty healthy. All things considered, with a Chen and Gyrocopter in the lane, you would expect it to be dead by now. So in a very, very odd twist of fate, we have SFB leading the way in the pushing department. Who could have seen that one coming? Bane needs level 6. OD needs one more level to get his Sandy's Eclipse up. But really, just not much going for Tellem right now. They have a Gyrocopter who's going to be well on his way to his drums. Chen's still farming decently. Will have his mech soon enough. Has yet to take a fall. Does have Hand of God as well. He needs one more level to get to level 7 to get the 3rd creep. But as of right now, 4 minutes in, 12 minutes in, we have a 4-1 lead, and oh, Pickles completely whiffing with that ice path. Ultimate being burned by Razor, pretty much for nothing. But Arcane Boots from the high ground, and he's going to be just fine to continue the good fight, especially if he finds an illusion rune on the bottom lane. Top lane, Phonix got to be in a little trouble. Hookshot gonna land. He's in the cogs, and Mihai is going to come in as well. Calldown's going to happen. She's some pretty heavy damage to the Razor, but he should be able to survive unless Test of Faith. Test of Faith! Test of Faith is not going to happen. Where Razor is hiding. Oh, he's restoring up. Where's the... Okay, let's see if he can fight his way out of this one. I don't think he can, yeah. Plasma Field is his last dying will, but in the end it is a 1-for-1. Tellem definitely do not want to lose the Gyrocopter, but they did get a very high level Razor. It is going to favor SFB just slightly. But now with 3 heroes up on this top lane, they should be able to take down this tower. Winter is coming. Not yet with the maxed out Ion Shell. Opting for instead a point of the wall and vacuum as opposed to level 4 Ion Shell, but that shouldn't matter too much. This tower should be going down, although Lifestealer is a pretty potent threat. They do have the Fiend's Grip, which does go through any rage, but there is no rage. Bert gonna take a dual breath straight to the face. Ryan is gonna be just fine. He's gonna pop the armlet, go to town onto Bert. Where's the Infest? He already used it. Lifestealer's gonna go down. Phonix is gonna drop a call down, gonna hit 2 players, as well as the Rock Barrage onto 470. He's gonna try to go for MV before he does go down, but it looks like he himself is gonna go down. One more right click will do it. 5-7 is the score so far. Mihai is gonna get imprisoned. Here comes Darkseer once again, gonna do some preliminary damage to Pickles before the ice path does come out, but he's gonna get stunned by it. Another surge forward, and Winter is coming, gonna burn down that Jakiro. Now Mihai is going to be the last one to survive. He does get imprisoned. Is there any follow-up to this? I don't believe there is. The intelligence from the Razor, he still has relatively high amounts of intelligence considering the Sandy's Eclipse threshold, and he is going to force the rest of Tellem back, but Tellem taking a crushing fight there. Rather surprising considering how powerful SFB were. I don't know what happened to this Infest of the Lifestealer, but he did not get it out. That would have saved him, or at least put more damage on the opposition while he was, tanking everything. But Tellem opening up with that Fiend's Grip onto Ryan, bringing him down to less than half HP before he could even hit a single thing. That's pretty much as good a fight as Tellem could expect from this point in the game, considering how far they were behind. And now we can see a dip in the experience chart, in the gold chart as well. However, they're going to lose a tier 1 tower, although it might be denied. TK is definitely capable of doing this. Let's see if he can land it. That is so unfortunate. This thing, slow duration. It is pretty annoying. Hookshot, fortunately for TK, is going to miss. 470 is going to have that one on cooldown for another minute. But as it stands, Tellem taking a pretty decent fight. They got a lot of value out of this cooldown, which is a huge damaging ultimate, especially with when combined with the Rocket Barrage. There will be missiles flying from everywhere. SFB perhaps a little bit uncoordinated on that fight. Clockwork was... I don't think he hooked in. If he did hook in, it was on the Gyrocopter, which was pretty much ideal. But, oh, there we go. Phonix is pretty much screwed. It was nice knowing you. Give him a proper burial. He's going to call down, and it's going to hit no one. That's proper burial if I ever saw one. However, in the top lane, Ryan is going to get a kill on the Chen. No send back, and Ryan now on the run. Is there any disable? Fiend's Grip not available. There is Imprison as well as an Eclipse. Ryan is on the run, does not have any mana, but he does have an Armlet as well as Yasha. Look at this guy go. Pickles is going to come in for the backup as well. So not only is Ryan going to escape, but he's going to get the Chen kill on the way out. Huge plays by this Lifestealer. And what is he waiting for? I don't really think he could... Okay, he's going to lifesteal a little bit. That's kind of bold, but whatever. They do have bottom lane pushing. Someone's going to have to deal with this pretty shortly. Mihai doing some pretty good work putting momentum onto that lane. Lifestealer, he totally just infested one of Chen's creeps, and they were trying to figure out which one to send it back. If they did send it back, that would have been a free kill. Classic Lifestealer fail bomb. As Chen sends the creep back. I don't think I've seen that for myself. I've seen the video of Havost getting pulled back to the base because of that, but I haven't seen it in a game myself, which is unfortunate. I want to see it. I really do. It should be fun. Winter is coming. Still getting those levels up. One more level off of a level 2 wall. And the Vacuum getting up there as well. However, there's still a pretty substantial stack for SFB. Stacks from Tellem starting to come up as well. If anyone could steal each other's stacks, that would be a pretty large turning point, especially if Tellem managed to do it. If SFB steal the stack from Tellem, that'll just put them even further ahead, because this Lifestealer is absolutely terrifying right now. Gonna go for the race car build with the Yasha, probably gonna build that into a Sanjin Yasha. But if he steals that camp, that would be huge. Conversely, if Tellem steal this camp, that'll put them right back into it. I would say that'll pretty much nullify the entirety of the lead that SFB have accrued for themselves at this point. Putting that much gold in the Gyrocopter will put him pretty close to his BKB, or it should put him close to his BKB. And I think, yeah, he still would want to go for BKB in this particular game. No reason not to. It's going to be a tier 1 push. Hero going to teleport in. That is bold by Pickles. Not too sure what that was about. He does have 470 around, but yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I don't even. They do have Naga Siren coming from behind. She is smoked up. She does have Song of the Siren. They are going to secure the tower, but are they going to get caught off by this Song? Caillou does have a Lifestealer inside of him. Bert is going to get netted. However, it's going to be completely wasted because of the Song of the Siren, although 470. And look to set up some cogs. There it is. Fox taking a huge hit. He's going to launch the call down before he does go down, but he will in fact go down. Wall's going to get dropped. However, there's no one actually walking through it. Winter is coming, trying to get out of there, but the plasma field going to secure that kill. The OD as well as Chen are both going to drop very, very shortly as well. It's going to be a full 5-man wipe with Caillou setting up that kill streak with the Song of the Siren and Ryan as well as Mihai just following through. They are going to lose the clockwork, but it's no big deal. I don't even believe... Yeah, that was a 4v5 as well. Just getting perfect initiation onto Tellem. SFB can now look for this tier 2 mid lane tower, which I don't believe is going to be that long for life. Although, celebration from Bane, posing a threat with that maxed out brain sap. SFB are not entirely healthy, so they will in fact fall back for now, but hell, they're not in any rush. They have late game in the Razor as well as the Lifestealer. OD and Gyrocopter don't have nearly enough as they need to deal with those two heroes. You can even see the Clockwork ahead of the OD in gold per minute. Clockwork does have a Blade Mail. It doesn't really matter since everyone was dead before they could even hit the Clockwork. But regardless, the Clockwork will now have free initiation in. He will punish anyone for even thinking of attacking him. And by anyone, I mean it's going to be punishing Phonics. Because the way it goes is you hookshot in, you set up your cogs, and then Gyrocopter panics, presses Q, presses R, and then he dies. Oh, hookshot in. Bert is now in a little bit of trouble. The Nightmare will not work. Brain Sap cannot be casted, I don't believe, although there's the disruption, and now 470 is on the run. The Rocket Barrage is going to drop him down very low. Ice Path not going to hit anything, but it will secure his escape as Bert just barely gets on out of there with his life. Let's see if there's any Baller Missiles. Baller Missiles! Baller Missile's going to miss. That was a good attempt. But TK coming out of nowhere, saving Bane just with a sliver of HP left. The Brain Sap, I don't even think he tried to, but I'm pretty sure you cannot Brain Sap when you are being 1v1 with Battery Assault maxed out. Just the cast time of that isn't, it won't let you. Looks like it's time for Tellem to clear off their stacks. They're going to stack it once more. Surprisingly, SFB, they have yet to clear their own stacks as well. But Tellem, they lay down the sentry ward. They did not realize that this ward is out of range, however. They should have seen it. Oh no, they didn't. The sentry ward is a little bit too short, and now the stack is not going to pull, and it's going to get interrupted by 470, who's going to hit a satyr of all things. The wall is going to get dropped. That's actually going to do nothing. Ice Path's going to drop. Dual Breath onto 2 as well. Winter's coming, dropping extraordinarily low. He's going to drop very quickly, as well as Envy. That's already 3 down for the Tellem side, and now Bert as well as TK are on the run. Bert's going to hit with an Ice Path, and TK is going to survive. But at what cost? Is another 4-man wipe going in favor of SFB, and this time they're very healthy. They could go for the stacks, they could go for Roshan, they could go for both even. It looks like they're going to go for Roshan. There you go. Is this a Basher? Sanjanyasha Basher. Wow, Ryan is incredibly farmed right now. They don't have the best tools with dealing Roshan, but they don't really have any pressure on them either, so it's all good as Tellem are going... Oh, wait, this isn't... Oh, this is a new Sentry Ward, okay. As Tellem are going to lose Roshan, they... Fortunately for them, do still have their stacks. But that was an unfortunate sentry ward that got placed. Observer was just a little bit out of range, and if they knew that they were being watched, they would have known to not go up to that area. Certainly costed them quite a bit, as Lifestealer now secures his Basher. Level 16 on this guy, 549 gold per minute. The only thing that Tellem have to actually deal with this is the Fiend's Grip. So if the Bane can land a good Fiend's Grip, that would be the end of it. However, doing that is pretty much impossible. There's a level 2 Song of the Siren, there's Cogs and Battery Assault and all these ugly things coming off the Lifestealer, from the Clockwork rather, as well as the Jakiro, who has Ice Path. With all that, it's going to be incredibly difficult, almost impossible, for the Bane to get a full duration or even an adequate duration Fiend's Grip in order to do substantial damage to this Lifestealer.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah. They're going to take the tier 2 middle lane, leaving top lane pretty much untouched. And hook shot in from 470, going to find Phonix once more. He's not going to be lasting very long. Ryan going to get Nightmared up. However, an Ice Path onto 2, going to drop Bert as well as TK very, very low. Jackcopter forced by back into this game. Wall is dropped, but there's no vacuum. Where is the vacuum for the Darkseer? It looks like it was already used. Not really effective, though. Bert is going to get dropped now. Phonix buying back into this fight. He's on the run. He's going to get Infest Bombs, and that's going to be Envy as the last hero left. He's getting chased down by 470. One more hit from Mihai is going to do it. Triple kill for him. Double kill for the Lifestealer, and GG gets called. SFB are going to crush Tellem. 23 minutes with a kill every minute. That's going to be it. It's going to be SFB heading towards the grand finals of the Balt Cup 2. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys in the grand finals, I suppose. GG.